Да, и тем временем, кажется, мы готовы. Кажется, следующая игра и следующий раннер готовы к тому, чтобы мы посмотрели на них. Следующий раннер SHiFT, небезызвестный раннер, который ранит эту прекрасную игру уже лет 5.
So today we're going to be playing the 2003 platformer and collectathon, released for the original Xbox, GameCube, and
Игра
PlayStation
встречает
4.
нас с прекрасной, всем известной
Platformers
мелодией.
you're aware of. This game has a main collectible used to unlock new areas, the golden spatulas. So you're going to want to pay attention to those. We need 75 of those to complete the game to get to the final boss and win. And we
Да,
routed this in such a
Shift нам сейчас говорит о том, что нам нужно постепенно по всей игре мы будем собирать лопатки. Нам нужно 75 лопаток, чтобы добраться до финального босса и
say
пройти игру.
showtime. All right. 3, 2,
И игра начнется, как только раннер скажет
can already skip
«Showtime».
these cutscenes here.
Let's go.
This game allows
Это
you to
Showtime!
skip the longer cutscenes,
Поехали!
but some shorter ones.
Наблюдать прекрасный ран Губка
Technical
Боба.
glitches. These little shiny things we're
С
collecting.
гигантским количеством, на самом деле, механик и гличей на
Toll
передвижение.
gates, which can lead to golden spatulas like this. And this one in particular is going to be used to unlock the hub world, which will allow us to branch off and go wherever. So we're about to go on an adventure through Bikini Bottom with all references through the first 3 seasons.
Да, также стоит отметить механики, которые позволяют нам открывать уровни постепенно вместе с тем, как мы будем собирать количество лопаток.
Yeah, and we're actually
Чем,
on the first
ну, определенные уровни требуют определенное количество лопаток для того,
when
чтобы
you go
зайти на
out
них.
of bounds or fall off the map anywhere in the game, a hand will come onto the screen and drag you back inbounds. So we're actually going to be disabling the hand by entering a loading zone here while it's on the screen, and that'll allow him to
Да,
reach
вообще
plenty of areas that he shouldn't be able to throughout the run.
стоит сказать о том, что как работает Out of Bounds в этой игре. Вы можете заметить такие себе линии
Head up here with a golden spatula in it.
пунктиром красного цвета вокруг локаций. Это уже считается Out of Bounds. И в игре это вполне обоснованно фиксится. Если игрок попадает в Out of Bounds, появляется рука и достает губка Бобу обратно. Но мы можем скипать эту руку благодаря тому, что мы загружаемся.
Early and then
Yeah, that was
working
one
to
of the first things
На самом деле тут очень много кипов и абузов именно с загрузкой на другие
it's
уровни.
like, that was a huge game break for this game, and we are still finding stuff like that today that can be used.
Эти скипы в этой игре на самом деле супер. Их просто много, настолько много, что мы будем по ним проходить ближе, чем когда мы к ним непосредственно подойдем. Кстати говоря, стоит отметить то, что в этой игре есть очень большое также, в том числе и damage бустов. Механика с абузом атак для большего airtime, чтобы находиться в воздухе как можно больше. Как вы можете заметить, это уже используется вовсю. Только что мы могли наблюдать damage boost.
beautiful soundtrack as well. Yeah, and it's worth mentioning right here that you'll see him collect a sock at this part of the slide. Those will give you 1 golden spatula, so he'll be collecting some of those throughout the run. And we have a nice little intentional death here to skip a cut.
Да, и тут мы специально прыгаем с обрыва, чтобы скипнуть анимацию,
It's
катсцену.
what we call a
Благодаря
slide
этой
grab.
смерти
Basically, he's going to
мы...
take damage from this robot, and he's going to use the momentum to
Да, здесь у нас не совсем получилось, но мы должны получить дэмэдж от этого робота, после чего немножко запарить и залететь наверх этой платформы с помощью этого дэмэдж буста, с помощью этой скорости, которую мы получаем от робота.
Yeah, so this is actually a good time to talk about this. In this game, there are actually 5 different animations after SpongeBob takes damage. And one of them is actually 2 frames longer than the other ones. So when it comes to doing mid-air 1 frames like that,
Да, кстати, сейчас нам говорят о сложности сложности
it's important that he's
этих,
paying attention to which damage
так сказать, дэмэдж бустов, потому что в этой игре есть 5 разных анимаций Спанч Боба после того, как он получает дэмэдж. Они не сильно отличаются, буквально пару фреймов, но получая неудачные анимации после получения урона, мы можем не сделать дэмэдж бусты, которые
That one
мы
was tough,
хотели бы.
though.
yeah. That's just
But we're entering downtown, and now would actually be a good time to talk about. We need to bring some clarity to something. Some of you guys who watch YouTube and speedrun content may recognize a disc with ketchup on it that showed up in your recommended feed at one point. then that is this game. You might have recognized it. The infamous putting fingerprints on your disc strat to make lag clips work better.
Да, на самом деле стоит отметить о том, что это по факту DMC. В этой игре есть все от DMC. Механики полета с помощью атак. Что там еще в DMC есть? По сути, это просто DMC. Devil May Cry, который заслуживает вашего внимания.
Just to clear that up, because people always get that confused. We don't actually put fingerprints on any disc, or we don't have a disc now for that matter.
Yeah.
So glad that's all cleared up now.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Да, сейчас мы получим очередной damage-буст. В идеале мы от этого damage-буста хотели получить скорости дополнительной, но не вышло.
Shoy is going to touch base on that in a little bit, but we are actually coming up on another major glitch right here, and this is known as SpongeBob displacement jump, or just SDJ for short. So you're going to see this stack of tikis right here. It's going to shrink when you're close, and it'll expand when you're far. So by storing the release position of the SpongeBob on top of the stack while they're at their low point, you roll away and raise them, and then by exiting, you can actually use that displacement.
Да, и сейчас будет тот самый глич, о котором я говорил, что мы просто взлетаем. Как это работает? На самом деле это очень сложная механика. Это самый мажорный глич в игре. Вообще, мы используем, насколько я понимаю, то ли буферим прыжок, то ли благодаря заходу в меню. Мы это еще не раз увидим в этом ране. Да, мы вновь это делаем. Мы, грубо говоря, буферим прыжок, и после перезахода на другой уровень мы вновь получаем этот лаунч. Невероятный лаунч в воздух. Это невероятно точный трюк. Каждый раз люди, когда видят вот этот трюк в первый раз, очень сильно удивляются, потому что это, правда, невероятно сильно его ломает игру.
We have $25 from AK Phenom that says, "Good morning. My dad has stage 4 cancer, so seeing the community come together for one another means a lot to me and many others. Good luck on the run. And what's your favorite part of playing?"
Да, там фонтан под водой.
Hey, thank you so much, AK, especially for all the support throughout these years. You are the man, and I really hope that things go better for you and your family as well. My favorite part of playing this game is the satisfaction you get just from hitting all those crazy one frames, man. It is a wild ride. We got something coming up here too. We're gonna have some explanation for as well.
Да, как я и говорил, это сумасшедший ран, в котором куча глючей и абузов. Ой, вот эта вещь, это называется SpongeBob Storage. SpongeBob Storage, это важно, потому что мы с помощью формы шара мы можем совершать вот такие невероятные вещи, по типу кататься по стенам, по горам и получать бусты от наклонных поверхностей. Да, кстати, почему эта игра схожа с DMC? Еще одна причина, потому что у нас здесь есть каунтер того, ну, знаете, вот это... Как это правильно называется? Когда много очков выбиваешь, там, очки стиля. Боже мой, слабо у меня с познаниями в DMC. Были бы здесь люди, которые за это шарят. Жаль, их в чате нет уже. Да, комбо. Что-то по типу того.
So even though we're buying it from Mr. Krabs right now, since we're doing it under some very specific conditions, we'll actually be able to purchase it again later.
We're going to see the counter update to 13 here.
So
visually, we couldn't see it, but now we can. 13.
Yeah, you can see how tight the window for shiny objects is, so it's very important, like early on, that he was going out of his way to collect the extras. He only had like 30 extras, so it's a very tight window. This spatula right here, speaking of shinies, not only is it fast to do it this way, but we're actually skipping a...
Очередной раз мы сильно абузим дэмэдж-бусты, чтобы получить себе максимально быстрое прохождение. Да, это достаточно много, мы сейчас заскипали времени.
We're actually coming up on 2 other one frames right here. This one, nice job, by the way.
Nice, dude.
This one utilizes
И
the
сейчас очередной frame perfect jump. Мы получаем damage от... Это что-то невероятный раннер вытворяет с первой попытки, потому что это супер точный по времени прыжок. Нужно было получить damage прям четко в момент.
Nice. That was a very good dream.
Yeah, that was a good
Could have
dream.
gotten the slide off there, but I'm just happy that we made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see all these things we're crossing big gaps. If he does not hit the frames, he'll just void out and have to restart the entire level.
То, что вы сейчас видите, это на самом деле супер frame perfectное получение дэмэджа, плюс абуз атак.
It's very small window. So it's all very impressive. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Это прям раннеры не перестают говорить комментаторы о том, насколько четкий должен быть тайминг для исполнения этих
You're
трюков.
also paying attention to the cycles and trying to think about them as they're going through, and you're reacting to the one frames, and it's a lot to manage.
Yeah.
Then you gotta set up for sliding damage boost too with the frames. Ugh.
Hey, but that's why we love this game, right?
Early game, yeah, right. Most of the time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
Раннеры говорят о том, что они именно за то, насколько точные трюки в этой игре, они ее и любят.
the only reason we're actually doing it is because it gives us the bubble bowl power up, which we will need later to do a lot of major glitches and skips.
Yeah, so until we're actually able to get that power up, she's got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Yeah. So there's actually not much that can be
Да,
done.
мы сейчас будем
But throughout the fight, you'll see SHiFT circling around
драться с этой робо-белкой.
specific locations in the ring.
На примерно минуты 3 этот файт
See
будет
right there,
проходить.
he ran at her and she did her jumping attack early. There's just little time saves like that that make her attack cycles quicker.
Yeah, even in phases 2 and 3, they're going to be pretty similar, where she's going to have her initial elbow drop, and she's going to follow around for a bit.
А, кстати говоря, стоит сказать о том, что не часто использовалось в этом ране. Мы можем
The clothesline move a little bit early.
свичиться между персонажами в любой
Bring
момент.
her to attack here. When we slam, the head will fly towards the scoreboard, and we can get a quick hit. It's just a lot of little things going on in this fight that you might not realize, but it is all very...
Да, на самом деле сейчас вот было, так сказать, последовательность действий, которая невероятно маленькое количество времени экономит, но все-таки экономит, это важно для спидрана. Например, в том, что мы сейчас манипулировали этой робо-белкой так, чтобы она упала определенным углом в определенное место, чтобы голова ее откатилась в сторону того, куда нам нужно ее закинуть,
We have a $5,000
в сторону этих открытых электрических проводов.
Speed games and always good to see a GDQ. Good luck, SHiFT.
That's
Wow.
beautiful. Thank you so
One more.
much.
Thank you
That's-
so much.
We got to be closing in on 2 million, right?
Yeah, we actually have time
Okay,
for a couple
yeah,
more, I think.
we are closing on 2 million
let's
right
let's
now. I
keep going.
believe we are 21,000 away right now, so we are getting there. Shadow the Past donates $25, saying, I probably wouldn't be in speedrun.
Да, это последовательность действий, достаточно забавная говорить так, но мы это повторяем до момента, пока не переходит третью фазу
SHiFT, you're
белка.
gonna kill it, blow some minds.
Hey, thank you so
Nice.
much, man. It's crazy how many people are involved in this now and how many people have built this game up to be what it is today. It's gotten to the point where I used to kind of like stick my nose into a lot of different things and like try to help out here and there with a little stuff here and there, but there are so many people who are specialized and so smart and so good at what they do.
Остается всего лишь 2 хита до победы над боссом.
It's not just a few friends playing the game anymore. It's really truly a community, and it's not going anywhere. So, really appreciative of everybody, especially you guys who are helping fund the research to defeat cancer. Maybe we can get
Oh,
another one
absolutely.
in.
There's so many wonderful
Sure we
community
go.
donations here. Freezy Burn donates $50,
Love 'em.
saying, great to see SHiFT in the battle for Bikini Bottom back at GDQ after so long. Good luck on the run, and here's to 43 coming soon.
Да.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some of our practice
И таким вот образом
nervous that
мы наконец-таки добираемся до того, чтобы победить эту робо-белку.
Yeah, so we're actually coming up on the hardest level in the run, Goo Lagoon. There's a lot of major...
И сейчас будет один из самых сложных уровней. в игре, в котором будет очень много
We actually
скипов.
have a little bit of interesting stuff going on right here. He's going to be jumping out of bounds and going around a cutscene to save a little bit of extra time.
Сейчас мы в Out of Bounds proходим
See, they did, now that we have
вокруг катсцены, чтобы ее не
a lot of spots like
затриггерить.
that one where we can just do little quick time saves like that bowl boost there. Unfortunately, no.
That's
That's a fan favorite, unfortunate.
Да, попытался раннер только что с помощью Damage буста перепрыгнуть через воду, чтобы чуть-чуть времени засейвить, не совсем получилось.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of crazy glitches throughout this level, so keep your eyes peeled. You might notice some of them.
Yeah, you might see one eventually.
Возможно, да, мы в скором времени увидим какой-нибудь глич.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't. I was in this turkey sandwich. I wasn't really paying attention.
Whatever.
Возможно, не увидим. Ну, вроде обещали какой-то скип. Ну, в
What that
общем.
does actually unlocks a spatula that you'll get from Larry later on, so it is important to hit that. And basically what just happened is he skipped directly to the end of the level. That island is supposed to be the last place that you get to. So by reaching that early, we are now going to be playing the entire level backwards, and it saves a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, it's the classic BFBB. Playing a level in the reversed order.
Yep, you're going to be seeing that a lot today.
Да, мы, кстати, сейчас проходим этот уровень немножко в неправильном порядке. Но, как отмечают раннеры, это обычное дело для этого рана.
Chuck E. Cheese. I used to just climb up there and stick my hand in to get those points, but now I'm paying the price because I speedrun this game as a career, and I'm stuck with this. Can you guys explain what I'm about to do?
Yeah. So here we're doing SBA or skee ball abuse. So he's actually going to be getting the stone tiki stuck inside a very precise spot in the skee ball.
Да, мы сейчас будем абузить этот игровой автомат. Нам нужно закинуть эту голову в супер четкую точку.
And this racks up shinies at a pretty absurd rate, as you'll see. So if this does go perfectly,
Невероятно точный тут нужен
multitask the
бросок.
rest of the level while the shinies count up. But it is very common that the ball pops out because there's a lot of physics things going on right here. So
It's looking like the placement's not the best, but we'll pray.
Yeah, this is very much a reset point.
Если мы здесь не попадем правильно, то мы по большей части просто ресетнем уровень.
Fallout.
If it does fall out, he can always
Yeah,
just
we'll
return
just
later.
take care of it in a bit. Yeah, that's
yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah, but normally what we'd want to do here is multitask
Да, у нас всё
by
получилось.
having the points generate as we're doing all this.
Начинаются
Just climbing here.
какие-то невероятные
Just be here in
паркуры
30 the whole
по просто краешкам текстур.
You got some nice little movement, some platforming. You got the flags. Now we got to really just go babysit this thing. Yes, it's
Yeah.
very, very
И
precise trick.
да, мы
Very
достаем
tough to
таким
do
образом
under a lot of pressure as
лопатку.
well.
Even if you do get the setup,
После
Even if you do
этого
get it,
it's
роуп
just very
джампа.
unpredictable.
Very, very tough.
Yeah, SHiFT said he was not going to shave his face until this worked, and as you can see, it's been a while.
Well, I think at this point,
Да,
the
очень
cheaters is part of the
сильно
personality,
ломает
so-
этот тики башка эту машину. Мы можем
Yes,
бесконечно
little
фармить
Getting
эти
a ton of
поинты,
shiny objects right now.
потому что наш
Yeah,
шарик,
yeah,
который мы
see,
должны были бросать,
Yeah, we're
застревает
sitting on
в
top of it, so it can't really fall out
самом
at the moment
центре.
unless it goes out through the front.
Yeah, there is a
So we
setup.
should be good.
There is a setup that uses 2 tikis that's way more consistent, but obviously, you know, in a world record level run,
Вроде как всё
using
нормально.
1 is going to be way faster than using 2.
Yeah. Dude, I love this song.
This song
It's funny,
is
out of all
so
our
good.
practice, all of our practice runs, this is probably the worst it's gone, strangely. But
Yeah.
it's just a little bit tricky here.
Нужно выбраться в out of bounds теперь.
You can go for the little spatula skip.
И, насколько я понимаю, мы вновь
Nice.
Nice.
Basically,
отправляемся за лопаткой.
Spatula at the same time.
Yep.
Она находится вот здесь, вот на таком небольшом плоту под
You'll
локацией.
see here he's about to jump into this cardboard box. These cardboard boxes usually, or they always come in pairs. Usually there's one
Сейчас мы видим эти коробочки. Коробочки по факту это просто чекпоинты для бэктрекинга.
You can warp between them, and typically in most levels you can just open the one at the end of the level without opening the first one, and it'll just let you jump in anyway. And those will be used a lot throughout the run. Whenever we're doing a level backwards, we will get to the end of an area, jump in the box, and then move on to the next area like we are right now.
Yeah, this is another level we're going into that's just heavily trivialized by that tech, just being able
Да,
to
ран на самом деле невероятно
grab
сложный.
special and warp to where you collect the mission.
Мало
This is one
того,
of those
что
areas that looks
здесь
really, really nice
просто
and green.
гигантское
You guys
количество
played the
фрейм
Battle
перфекта,
for Bikini Bottom
так
with
здесь
Tiger
еще
that
и
came out
очень большое
a half a year
количество
ago.
трюков,
That was
которые
a
могут
remix to
крашнуть
this
твою игру,
game that
очень большое
somehow
количество трюков, которые могут не
crazy that
сработать, и
you
это
did.
будет ресет.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goo Lagoon Caves
can't
looked
believe it.
very good in that game as well. Great graphics.
Who would have known? Like this game really just came back into popularity so quickly.
Yeah, so we've got another little setup right here. He's actually going to ramp a bubble bolt
Здесь у
down
нас
out of this
сейчас
awning here
сетап
at just the
для
right
шара.
angle, and if it does work, it will hit an invisible button on the
Нам
other side of this
нужно
castle wall. So you'll see
запустить
it
этот
finally
шар
is on the
так,
other side
чтобы
right here,
он попал в невидимую кнопку
which
на
it
другой
is.
стороне.
The shot was successful. So that
И
actually skips yet another toll clam.
мы благодаря этому можем достать себе лопатку. И у нас все получилось. Мы попали в эту кнопку.
There are actually so many ways of doing that, but much like most things, there are like 5 different ways of skipping every spatula, and that's the current fastest for our route right now.
Yeah, so we actually have another method of vertical momentum storage right here. You know, the super jump glitch that you saw
Сейчас
earlier. Basically, by standing on top of this
у нас,
pole,
похоже,
and
будет
then
очередной
another bowling
суперджамп.
shot, it will slingshot the
Да,
ball
благодаря
that's
тому,
spinning
что мы
on
встаем
towards
на этот
SpongeBob's
шар,
hand,
который
and
мы
that
только что
will
запустили,
skip
загружаемся на
super
другой
quickly.
уровень.
If you
Нас
pause
игра
right
запускает
now
вновь
using
в
warps,
воздух.
you can do a
Мы
super
используем
jump
Сэнди для того, чтобы
and he basically
побольше
just skipped a
времени
very large portion of the rooftops level.
увеличить airtime благодаря also.
Yeah, that was good.
На нем мы буквально можем летать как на
Can't believe the
вертолетике.
spatula is so...
Ну, парить скорее.
Okay. I can't believe the spatula is still in the run after all these years. Like, we were doing it as SpongeBob for a little bit during the early SBA days, but now we're back to doing it as Sandy because of the VMS tech. By the way, we got a donation time if you got one.
Да, и вновь у нас время для донатов, и ничего особенного на экране, кроме того, что мы уже знаем, проходить не планируется. Но на данный момент, на самом деле, у раннера все идет супер клево.
What's up, Absol?
И, похоже, мы собрали все лопатки на локации Bikini Bottom. В городе.
The reason that he enters these taxi pads weirdly is because if he can actually get into the call zone while the cutscene is playing, he can just skip past the cutscene. Saves a second or two. Just little
Yeah, he'll be
optimizations.
doing that a few times.
You know what? For the fans.
Oh yeah, the nice little Easter egg of the bus
Anybody like
coming.
SpongeBob Season 1?
Yeah, classic.
Man.
So this
My
glitch
mom
right here.
got me an animated cell as a gift recently. Love those things.
Oh, is that the one it
Very
was?
nice. Yeah, one of them.
Да, сейчас мы будем...
Little cool piece of history.
В очередной раз он запускает себя с супер четким лаунчем. И заметьте, как он банихопит для того, чтобы сохранить скорость.
Yeah, so similarly to what you just saw and some of the other sliding bashes, this is going to follow the same suit, where he's just going to take damage and
Синий луч, который мы видим, это турельки, которые стреляют в нас. Это позволяет нам узнать, что в нас летит какой-то выстрел. И это будет нам, опять же, полезно в ране, как damage boost. Потому что только что мы сделали damage boost от этого выстрела. Да, смех Спанч Боба мы каждый раз слышим. Каждый раз, когда мы получаем эту лопатку.
You can really just like platform however you want in these older games. Just skip stuff, just outsmart the game. It's just fun, and the devs obviously knew you could, but they still let you. No invisible walls everywhere, you know.
Да, здесь достаточно забавная срезка тем, что мы запрыгиваем с помощью шара на стену. И добираемся до еще одной лопатки. Тем временем мы уже почти собрали себе половину лопаток. Сейчас мы, кстати говоря, по сути, задюпали себе лопатки. Мы благодаря тому, что у нас есть гигантское количество поинтов, которые мы надюпали, вы помните сами где, на той машине, можем себе просто бесконечное количество, ну ладно, конечное количество лопаток покупать, что позволит нам добраться до финального босса в разы быстрее.
Yeah, and just a minor correction on what you just said. At Chuck E. Cheese, you actually trade in the tickets for prizes, not tokens.
Oh yeah. Well, I think they do a card swipe now, right? Like they do the card swipe to save paper.
Yeah.
Нам нужно именно 40 лопаток, чтобы зайти в следующую локацию.
Yeah, so
Разблокировать.
yeah, so much like Robo Sandy, this boss is also going to
У нас
follow the
очередной
same
босс.
targets per phase format.
В
This is
основном
Robo-Patrick. It's gonna
примерно
have
так же,
multiple
как и
techniques
Робо
in
Сэнди будет
every
проходить
phase.
этот
That's
босс,
first phase.
этот
Very
бой.
simple.
Это Робо
He's going to
Патрик.
attack you with the toxic ice cream and then have a little 10-second spin cycle. Afterwards, you'll be able to hit him. So it's just, pretty straightforward.
Да, у нас
Actually, if you want to
особо
squeak in a donation,
ничего
that
не
really
будет
definitely have time.
происходить.
All right,
У нас
we
будет
have
так же,
$25
как
from
проходить
License
фаза атаки,
Association.
после чего у нас будет
Watching
фаза
for years now.
нанесения урона. И так
It's so
повторяем
awesome.
9 раз.
I love SpongeBob, and to see someone so passionate about one of the best 3D platformers ever made, and it just so happens
Далеко не самая сложная часть рана.
Your genuine love for this game is the reason I keep coming back. Love you, SHiFT. 2 million, here we come.
So happy to be almost closing on that 2 million too. Thank you so much, man. You know, it's funny because like you would expect a SpongeBob game, especially after the humble beginnings of Revenge of the Flying Dutchman and some of the older PS1 stuff.
Love that game.
We it's kind of a miracle that we even got this, and the devs were so passionate about it. They put in 60-hour work weeks just to make this game perfect. Some of them said their biggest regret was they just couldn't
В
work
этот
harder
раз
on it.
мы перевели Патрика в другую фазу.
It's weird. There are
Всего
some
3
languages
фазы.
that kind of transcend
У него
literal
меняется
language, right? I think
атака.
that just the passion that they put into the game just kind of leaks into all of us. We all want to put that kind of passion into it, even without knowing, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of beautiful.
It is.
We've actually been in touch with the devs of the original game quite a bit, even the original artists who worked on the textures and the composer who created the soundtracks. Also, shout outs to SHiFT and Chicho for going through the trouble, the painstaking trouble to help the original composer find his original discs and masters for the original soundtrack. So we got the highest quality versions of those now, not compressed to the Xbox disc, so very happy.
Да, раннер на самом деле
So
просто
many
все, что
components
делает сейчас
of
на
this
этом
game's
постфайте, это
speedrunning
чистый
community are
флекс.
just speedrunning.
Yeah.
We've also got a
Все,
modding
кроме
community
вот
that's
этих
really awesome too.
по
Very
таймингу ударов
intertwined with the
по
speedrunning
боссам.
community. Shout out to Igor Sebra, I hope I pronounced his name correctly, I really hope I did. He created the fan-made level editor Industrial Park, which, named after this level actually, is used to, well, edit levels and look into the game and find glitches. We used that to find the skee ball glitch you found earlier. And funny enough, that level editor was actually repurposed by the studio that created the remake to import the levels to scale into Unreal Engine. So just a little touch of the community helping out there and just getting involved with the remake as well.
И вторая фаза повержена.
QA it for a little bit
Непосредственно
too, but
начинается третья и
we've all
последняя.
been a little bit involved.
Вся арена уже находится в
We're
этой
really
жиже.
looking forward to the next SpongeBob game too, SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake, the spiritual successor, so to speak, of this game that was made almost 2 decades ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, so here we are in phase 3. This is actually a very, very crucial point in the run. So RoboPat can actually only land in designated areas around the arena's edge, and you'll see that right now. So SHiFT is actually going to be standing in pretty precise spots along the conveyor belts to try and manipulate the way that RoboPat spins, and that allows us to not perfectly predict where he's going to land, but it does make the prediction a lot more consistent.
Мармелад под водой?
Because it
Ты что,
eliminates the
совсем
entire
что ли?
backside of the arena. So there is a lot going on here as well. Some more AI
Да,
nips.
сложно понять, что это такое на самом деле. Скорее всего, это просто какая-то зеленая
I
жижа.
cannot even overstate how clever this strat is. You know, the original video for this strat was like a 30-minute video of Alex97 testing it just over and over again just to prove like his theories about it.
Just brute
Really great
force.
strat hunter, that guy. Shouts to him.
Yeah, and as we approach the end of the boss fight here, as soon as we defeat him, we will be awarded the Cruise Bubble power-up. And not only is that power-up useful for doing casual parts of the run,
Да, и после победы над боссом нам вновь дадут новую способность, которая позволит нам, по-моему, запускать
The DVD player strikes again.
немножко другие воздушные пузыри.
Including the iconic cruise boost trick, which we're getting into
И
right
очень скоро мы ее увидим, это новая
When
способность.
activated on the same frame, the cruise bubble actually interrupts the bubble bowl, causing the animation to cancel, but maintaining the momentum that you gain from that. So this is going to store as a new force of speed on SpongeBob, pushing him forward constantly, even when there's no inputs, of movement being inputted. So this also mobilizes stationary moves like slams and bashes, as you've just seen. That can be used to, climb walls, cross large gaps. And it's important to note that the frame perfect inputs do need to be done twice with a good strafe angle so that you can actually store solid speed.
Yeah, it's kind of like wave dashing, where you gotta make sure your angle is good to get a long wave dash. Shout out to the melee community, by the way.
Yeah, and
Love those guys.
we're coming up to a very iconic trick here as well, known as fast
Да, вообще,
back.
благодаря комбинации из этих новых двух пузырей, насколько я понимаю, у нас ломается физика Спанч Боба, благодаря чему мы начинаем двигаться быстрее, без
Indication of
инпутов.
which frame you
То есть
hit.
нам не нужно на самом деле какие-то нажимать кнопки, чтобы передвигаться. У нас Спанч Боб двигается сам по себе.
There you go.
So what basically just happened there, it's sort of similar to the one-frame triple jumps that Jared explained earlier. But this time, instead, we're utilizing the grounded frame between a spin and slide animation. And by bashing on that frame, you get a lot of momentum and height from the slide. And it lets us skip all the way to the acorn to grab that spatula.
Fast nut, man. I remember grinding that for 5
Да, у
hours.
нас Frame Perfect скипы тут происходят просто постоянно, и многие из них проходят с первой попытки, так что мы уже даже не
Speaking of
являемся
skill,
такими
we've got
вещами.
another very difficult trick coming up here. This is known as a ledge cruise boost. It's a variation of the cruise boost glitch. Nice first try, that's great. Basically, by doing the cruise boost input while SpongeBob is falling down a short ledge, you actually
Да, у нас
store
очередной
extra
буст,
momentum.
который по очередной сломанной механике работает. С помощью нашей новой способности мы можем запустить себя вот таким образом, набрать гигантскую просто скорость, которая позволит нам залететь на ту гору, проскипать половину этого
Cruise boosting
рейса.
itself was just groundbreaking because of how fast you could go, and now there's so many different spots in this game.
Yeah.
And just stuff like, what even is this? What are we doing?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, stuff
We're
like
just
this is
doing this.
crazy. And the run's just full of it.
Just,
What are we doing?
just gliding over the fight, no problem.
Просто пролетаем над боем, нам
Yeah, there's so
абсолютно не
many
нужно драться.
examples of interesting stuff that don't even get to see like the light of day in any percent run. So it's just there's.
В этой игре на самом деле настолько много все-таки механик передвижения и, так сказать, техник, что
Run was in GDQ, like the game has changed.
просто ломает ее полностью. Последний раз, когда эта игра была на ГДК, это было в 2017 году, она была абсолютно другой.
How is a game like this just so much fun to play at like a low skill barrier and a high skill barrier? It's like it just feels so smooth. Even shout outs to Skywise, by the way, for kind of jump starting the whole fan made mod stuff. BFBB Mix, another game that has a speed run as well. It's one of our first ROM hacks. People speed run that too.
Yeah, so for this next trick right here, SHiFT is going to be lodging SpongeBob in this crack in the ground. And when he gets in, the game is going to try to squeeze him out very quickly.
Сейчас мы будем пытаться провалиться под карту таким образом, чтобы Спанч Боб полетел с большой скоростью вперед.
This is still very missable, but because it's a 2-frame window, we have 1 in 30 rather than 1 in 60.
Yeah, so
И у нас
Yeah,
это даже,
basically free to
это
hit
не-
the trick, bro.
у нас тут 2 фрейма на то, чтобы успеть сделать непосредственно лаунч, чтобы набрать скорости горизонтальной, так что это на самом деле даже простой
There's
трюк.
so much happening.
So much happening.
But yeah, but I like how just like 1/30th is like easy mode for all the other stuff we got going on here. So
Yeah.
oh god, there's just so much.
Yeah, so we've actually got another ledge cruise boost coming up right here, this time in Goo Lagoon.
У нас в очередной раз сейчас будет лаунч от
Nice.
Okay.
This should be good enough.
непосредственно, так сказать, слоупа. С большой скоростью мы запускаем себя и сохраняем, что самое важное, эту скорость
But yeah,
на
getting that boost
протяжении
in the first
всего
couple tries
уровня.
is very crucial for this. And yeah, we can just sit back and enjoy the fast cruise boost speed.
Yeah, as you can see, even him not getting that like right on the first try, like that still could have very well worked, but it's such a tight cycle. So doing an LCB, which are
Ай-яй-яй,
difficult as it
не
is,
попадает чуть-чуть по
and then
шару,
mixing that with all this movement
но
that you see,
по шару по детям
yeah, it's a lot.
нам нужно, да, нам нужно сохранить это ускорение.
Can be a rough segment.
Barely touched that.
That was close.
Точнее,
Going for a backup
мы
'cause,
не то чтобы сильно могли бы от него
audio
избавиться
kit,
даже.
so I went for the other
Как я и
kit,
говорил,
which
оно
is,
само по себе уже
little
работает.
tiny
Мы
thing, but yeah, that's just how
движемся
precise this
вперед,
game
независимо от
is.
того,
Every
нажимаем мы
position
вперед или нет.
matters just so much.
Should have time for a donation right now if you've got one.
Yeah, this level's
I
pretty,
do.
pretty cool on its own.
Californium donates $250 saying, "Hey SHiFT, glad to see you back at GDQ.
Oh.
You will get the 43 pretty soon. Love your content, Sinceres, and glad about what impact you've had on the Battle for Bikini Bottom community. Continue your awesome work."
Pegman.
It's kind of crazy that there even is a community.
man,
So I'm still shocked by it.
Yeah, a very
Like,
nice community.
when we
too.
started, Jared, like, when you played this game a tiny bit before I did too, like just a little bit.
Yeah, respect your elders.
You guys should technically be respected.
Да, просто внесу чуть-чуть больше ясности. На самом деле, почти все уровни раннер проходят абсолютно не
So
intended
we're actually running past
способом.
that spatula. There's a reason for that. We'll come back and get it later, so you'll see that.
То есть почти все в этой игре
Third boss
сломано.
fight in the run here. This one's different from the other ones because we can actually completely skip it by touching this
И
debug
да,
out of bounds.
мы выбрались в out
Touching
of
it
bounds
immediately
сейчас.
kills the boss, and by bowling into that gate there while collecting the spatula, he can actually save a little bit of time if he had gotten to 1 frame, but unfortunately he did not.
Is time moving faster? Or is it just me?
Теперь первый раз нам показывают, как
This is
работает
very, very
эта новая способность по назначению,
Maybe it's your game.
которую вы получили. А именно это точнее, ракеты, которые мы можем управлять. Ну или же подводная лодка.
It's been a good time.
Yeah, if it was my
Ну или же,
game,
как они называются, подводные ракеты, ладно. Торпеда, да?
I think Shohei
Наверное, все же это похоже больше на торпеду.
Okay, well,
That's a very nice button shot, by the way. That was good.
shot, nice shot.
Thank you very much.
So right here, we're actually coming up on one of the hardest and longest spatulas in the route. This is the ballroom puzzle. Played this game as a kid. you
И
probably remember it. It
сейчас
is notorious for being
у нас
very
в очередной
difficult
раз
space level,
одна
just
из самых
dealing with
сложнейших
the jank of the wall and all the
локаций в игре.
crazy stuff you have to do on like the timer. And it's just very
Таким,
difficult.
кстати, забавным способом мы можем клипнуться под купол и забрать лопатку прямо на глазах у мистера Крабса. Просто украсть
Earlier,
ее.
as I mentioned. So since we've hit all 4 of the buttons, we can grab that spatula and using our cruise boost momentum, it will carry us back and we should run into the other one. There you go.
Nice.
Nice double. All right, we're jumping in right to another LCB right here. So this one is actually going to be used to glide out of bounds underneath the stage. So we'll see if you can.
Да, мы сейчас прямо попытаемся клипнуться в out of bounds.
There you go.
This might work.
I think you're good.
This
Nice.
is such a finicky.
И мы должны сейчас
So the goal here
пролететь
is
Pretty slow.
to
в
touch another debug trigger. This one is actually in physical form.
под
as a
сцену.
purple shiny object.
И
This is gonna trick the
после
game into
триггера
thinking
с
that we have
разговором
collected all 6 of the pieces of artwork.
нас
So we can
вытолкнет
just grab
обратно.
that spatula now and just not have to do that.
Yeah. Wow, that was
Oh,
that was
man,
crazy.
Да, что-то очень странное произошло.
that's just the classic.
Uh,
Well, I've never seen that before.
Да, раннеры, конечно же, шутят про то, что они никогда этого не видели. На самом деле такого быть не может. Я более чем уверен, что они шутят, потому что все-таки
That was crazy.
они люди, которые ранят эту игру очень
It's
долго.
extremely difficult to play optimally. Like, it is very, very tough.
Oh, indeed.
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah. there is a potential one frame cancel there where you can enter the level and press R on the same frame to collect the spatula and avoid watching the animation. But what makes it so tough is that the LCB speed is so variant that it kind of mixes up your timing a little bit when you're trying to go for it. You have to really be careful about your spacing, be very aware of how
Да, кстати говоря, благодаря тому, что благодаря анимации вскарабкивания на лампу, мы смогли пройти сквозь эту вполне видимую стену
He was
лазеров.
able to clip through that laser wall by getting a ledge grab animation, and then also did a nice little damage boost. And right here, he'll be able to jump on top of the laser wall because you are invincible for a short amount of time after collecting a spatula, so you can get that sock pretty quickly.
Nice job.
Yeah, we got a little skip here, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I'd say we got time for a donation.
Okay. We have $5 from Kalis the Coldbold, who says, "Hey SHiFT, Jared and Shoy. Great to see you back at GDQ. Can't wait to see SpongeBob defeat the giant robot brain, and looking forward to my own first full game run soon."
Nice.
Very nice, man.
Very, very happy to have
nice.
you playing this game.
Yeah,
Thank you
good
for the
luck
You know
to
what's so
support.
cool about this game too? Everybody who runs it, they all do different socks, spatulas, routes, and whatnot. Everything's fast now. All these spatulas are all so fast. You can just choose which ones you want and lose very little time for your preference. And it's very, very cool how many levels you can go through.
Yeah.
It's just never ending.
На самом деле,
Alright, so here we are
раннеры
coming up on
подмечают
the
то, что
Forest.
это
This level has
мы
remained
очень
pretty
много
similar
уровней
throughout
можем
time. We
просто
kind of figured this level out
пройти
pretty
мимо
quickly.
или
So
пробежать их.
immediately just using our cruise boost, we can just enter the exit to the final area because this level runs in a big loop. And now we're actually
И прямо сейчас мы будем проходить в очередной раз уровень полностью в другую сторону. То есть задом и вперед.
Immediately, and then just go backwards through the boxes and loading zones, or not loading zones, but the warp menu and all that stuff. We'll be seeing a lot
I've
of
gotten
that.
comments about how
nice
mad
out
people
control.
are that we can just skip this also.
Yeah, nice out control, dude.
a little bit of tech.
Да, вот таким нечестным образом мы победили в гонке. И нам должны сейчас награду дать.
I was just doing a run and I accidentally pressed L on the same frame that I touched the spatula, and I was like, what just happened? I can control myself. So the reason why that happens is because SpongeBob is programmed to face the camera.
We got Hey Kid coming up here, by the
What?
way.
Oh, okay.
Hey, kid.
There it is.
All right. Thank you, by the way.
Да, это настолько уже обычная вещь для раннера и комментаторов, что они даже не придают особого значения половине вещам, которые он делает.
Moving without actually giving input, you can still move around while he's collecting the spatula. So because the L control unlocks your camera by doing the one frame, you can actually turn your camera and move and walk around while you're collecting the spatula without actually moving. It's very cool looking.
Very, very cool.
But that would also be the reason why you are spinning. You might be curious, actually, like, why is he spinning in circles when he gets the spatula? And that's just because he has to face the camera, but the camera's zooming in. It's just gets a little weird. So lots of cool stuff like that.
For sure.
He just doesn't know what to do.
Alright, so that's gonna do
Yeah,
it for
so-
Kelp.
Да, мы только что закончили этот уровень полностью задом наперед.
My childhood just done in 2 minutes.
Yep. Alright, so here we are,
И
coming up on the last
мы
area
сейчас
of
заходим на
the
последнюю,
But
так
first,
сказать,
we must pay attention to our friend
скорее не
Kelp behind the
локацию, а
Krusty Krab. If we hit him, he'll give us a sock.
хаб
Yeah, I was
Можно
actually
так,
wondering
наверное,
where that
сказать.
went.
В игре.
Yeah, you're embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, well, okay, dude.
The graveyard.
God. we've got a little bit of some cool cruise boost movement here. It's pretty self-explanatory stuff, you know.
Да, то, что сейчас происходит на экране,
Yeah, we have
в принципе, раннеры называют то, что плюс-минус понятно уже для смотрящего этот
Thank you
ран.
and GDQ for supporting such a worthy
Потому
cause.
сейчас
Have a great run.
вновь у нас засчитывает донат.
Thank you, man.
Oh.
Enjoy the show.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah, you can see that. I was gonna say that cage right there is gonna play a little crucial role later on in the run. There was actually, back in the day, one of the hardest tricks that we've ever had in this game was involving that cage, and it was right at the end of the run.
indeed.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Good old GCC.
Yeah, I would have been doing it if I was doing the marathon run, but you know,
Yeah,
understand.
Yeah, you would have gotten it first try too. Absolutely.
I would have absolutely gotten it first try, for sure.
Yeah,
no doubt.
me too, for sure.
Well, let's not get too carried away. You know.
All right. This is another big skip, kind of like the cow bungee skip in the beginning of the game. You grab this spatula, you can just warp to it and skip half the level.
Yeah.
And this is a tough level casually. I'll just throw that out there. Like people really.
Да, и на самом деле это очень сложный уровень для казуального прохождения. Люди частенько, так сказать, не вывозят этот уровень. Прыжки здесь достаточно сложные, платформинг невероятно сложный.
Yeah, because you can't just mash. You have to like wait a little bit.
Да, вообще, почему происходят такие жесткие приближения Спанч Боба, стоит сказать, потому что он, опять же, не может остановиться в момент того, как он поднимает лопатку, но при этом игра пытается отцентровать камеру на лицо Спанч Боба, но при этом двигается. И из-за этого мы ходим кругами до момента, пока мы во что-то не врежемся. Как только мы врезаемся во что-то, непосредственно камера, скорее всего, уже будет приближена на лицо Спанч Боба в упор.
Yeah, that's good.
I actually think we could probably squeeze a donation in right here, right? I think we got time.
Maybe. Yeah, during the cutscene.
Sure, we've got time.
Да, остается уже буквально какие-то минуты до конца рана.
He's one of the hardest working people I've ever seen. Glad you can show off your skills at GDQ.
Thank you, man. We're gonna be doing runs right after this one, actually, all day. So hopefully that 43 happens at some point.
Today's the day.
Ye old plug.
Ride the
Don't
momentum.
put that pressure on me.
No, ride the momentum, man. There's so many momentum tricks in this game. You gotta ride out your own momentum. Right here,
Speaking of which,
we've got our second to last.
И у нас сейчас будет второй, точнее, два босс-файта остается, и сейчас предпоследний.
So we can just do that. Touch the debug trigger and that's done.
yeah, the devs have told us they thought that nobody was going to reach these things, and you know they're probably right. But we're speedrunners and we want to, so we're just going to find a way.
Yeah. So this is home of, again, one of the hardest tricks that we've ever had in the run, but now it's kind of just a joke. You can see how easy it is right there.
Да, и сейчас в очередной раз у нас невероятно точный кип, который раньше считали одним из самых сложных, но сейчас это настолько просто, что даже смешно. И да, у нас 75 лопаток, что позволяет нам отправиться драться с Спанч Бобом.
So right off the bat, to explain this fight as quick as I can, he's going to use some invincibility frames on spawn-in to take the first hit. Then he's going to hit Robo-Plankton and then do a precise bowling shot right here that prevents Plankton from doing his own little animation. And then using the platform momentum, he can launch himself into the air, hit another debug trigger, and now we're into the brain.
And I can't think of a more fitting way to finish a BFB speedrun.
А мы только что забрались внутрь Спанч Боба.
So basically he's gonna clip into the brain here and skip basically.
И мы прямо сейчас заберемся внутрь out of bounds, точнее в inbounds головы Спанч Боба, сломаем 3 фьюза, и время будет невероятно скоро. Или нет, потому что только что мы получили софтлок, скорее хардлок.
I'm kind of happy it happened. We get a little more time to talk.
That clip saves what, 4 seconds?
Да, к сожалению, не повезло немножко раннеру. Не все идеально в этом ране все-таки прошло.
Yeah. Seeing all this stuff done now compared to like what we used to do is just amazing to me. This game has come so far.
Yeah.
Да, мы провалились.
There we go.
И время будет, как только мы сломаем третью фьюзу. Но это время.
Nice run.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun showing everything off.
Это клапа. Сейчас. Невероятно просто, честно. Я каждый раз, наблюдая раны по Спанч Бобу, у меня каждый раз ломается голова, потому что столько трюков в таких играх. Просто, я не знаю, кто делает эти игры, но такое ощущение, как будто они специально вносят эти трюки в игру. Да, вот уважаю Мела за то, что он показывает, как нужно память. Сейчас, пожалуйста, За это вас даже не
It's quite a
забанят.
bit different than most of the history videos you watched before, but I'm sure you will enjoy it just as much. I'd also like to dedicate this run to our friends.
Да, это был прекрасный SpongeBob Battle for the
who
Bikini
tragically
Bottom.
passed not so long ago. Marrow,
SHiFT, небезызвестный, опять же. На самом деле, очень популярный раннер.
Unfortunately, his passing was very untimely. And Gertis, unfortunately,
Он
he left us
вообще ранит эту игру, по-моему,
very
full
much
time.
earlier than expected. He left us about a week before the remake came out, so that was really tragic.
На самом деле, заслуживает уважения. Столько времени уделять
Love this
чисто
community
одной игре,
so
это...
much. They both did, Marrow and Gertis. They were great examples, very generous and kind people, and they set
уважаемо.
a very high bar for us to aspire to reach in terms of our maturity and the kindness that we spread to everybody else who loves to play this game. So I really appreciate all they did for us, and we'll miss them for sure. I also, I gotta mention the 100 under 1. So, in Gertis's honor, because I wanted to do something for him, but it took a little bit of time to figure out what would honor his legacy and also be a good way to help people get into the game, because that's what he loved. He just wanted to see the community grow. I set up a challenge last year where I challenged the community to get 100 people on the Battle for Bikini Bottom leaderboards under 1 hour before the end of last year, and we made it. We made it to 102. So I ended up donating $2,400 to cancer research, and that was a
Да,
really great
и
thing that we
пока у
started.
нас
I'm
идет
really happy the community was motivated
финальная
to get into that,
речь
get into the
шифта,
game, give it a try, 'cause it's what they would have wanted.
я, наверное, тоже
And
кое-что скажу,
absolutely,
потому что
that's,
это была моя
you know,
последняя игра,
I'm so happy that
которую
it's
комментил в этом блоке.
getting
Еще
out. So
сегодня
it's
вернусь.
just great. 5 years later,
Потому, наверное, будем
where's the time gone?
ненадолго
Yes, if you guys,
прощаться,
of
буквально
course,
там на
wanna
пару
help,
часиков. Вернусь я, кстати, на прекрасном
of course, get
Fallout
your
New Vegas.
donations in. We're almost at 2 million
Этот
right
ран
now,
будет,
so if you guys wanna
обещаю,
help
он будет
benefit
не
the
менее
Prevent Cancer
клевым, нежели...
Foundation
Хотя
and,
ладно,
you know, support the
честно сказать,
runners
меня очень
and
сильно
the
впечатлил
cause,
этот
then
ран.
make sure you get your donations in.
Мало
We
что может
appreciate
быть не
everybody who
менее клевым,
donated towards us, during this run, who had nice
но он
words
тоже
to say
будет
about
очень
us.
клевым.
Nice donations.
Yeah, so just
Этот ран,
go to 2
конечно,
million. I
просто
know we
что-то
can get there,
невероятное.
so keep them coming. We're so close.
Очень-очень интересно то, что ГДК припасло именно такие раны по типу предыдущего Марио Ворлда, которого мы наблюдали, по типу этого Спанч Боба. Прям под самый
See you
конец.
later.
Yeah, thanks so
everyone.
much for having me on.